Hey guys, SD here, ready for tonight's SpoilerCast. So, lighting is still not optimal, however, I have found my tripod for my camera, so we are good to go on that front. I'm going to try out different angles around the room to find the best place until I can get the lighting set up, because, God, this like spotlight over my head is not great. I'm really casting some weird shadows there. Anyhow, got my notes. Tonight's episode was the shortest episode of the season, clocking in at a scant 50 minutes long. That's not why my notes are so short. My notes are so short because I'm really getting tired of trying to shorthand crap people talk about that I end up not really thinking is all that important anyway myself. So, with that in mind, we are going to go into it. Tonight's episode, 4th, 5th in the season. Middle of the season. We've only got 3 more to go, I want to say. Tonight was the 5th. We got 3 more to go. And then there'll be no more Game of Thrones, allegedly. So, that's something to think about. We opened No Cold Open again. And moved in for a change, not on a water shot, so maybe that really didn't have anything to do with stuff going on this season. Maybe I'll look for other correlations later, at a later date, to go back over and look at my notes. But basically we get in on the Lannister army marching after their take of Highgarden. They are moving on. Jaime has stopped the caravan because he's paying off Bronn, who insists not only on getting a bag of gold, but he also wants a castle. He's trying to get Highgarden, but of course, Jaime's like, dude, look, you'll get your castle when the whole war is done. We're not going to just start giving you a castle now. You need to stick around. And then Tarly, Sam's dad, shows up, and there's like something there that they got to do. I'm not really clear on what that fuss was about because we hadn't turned up the TV yet, and they're all low, mumbly mumblers and deep-toned voices that I have trouble following up on. But with the goods that they stole from Highgarden, I say stole, they ransacked and took after they defeated them, they were able to pay off the Iron Bank. So now the Iron Bank people are really, really, really keen on helping Cersei out because she did pay off their debts. Well, we kept with a brief scene with Cersei and the guy from the bank. Bankers are really, really high class in this series for some reason. Then we cut over to Bran, not Bronn, Bran, the little crippled kid in the chair who is also the three-eyed raven, who's being basically smarged up by Littlefinger, who hands him over the dagger that was used to attempt to assassinate him way back in season 1. Thinking it's like a good souvenir or something. Basically trying to get in good with the kid because he thinks the kid's going to become Lord of Winterfell. And of course the kid's not, because the kid's not the kid anymore. The kid is the three-eyed raven and he won't do it. But Littlefinger doesn't know that. So he's trying to suck up. And then Bran's lady friend comes in and she's telling him she's going to have to leave. He's like, okay, thanks, bye. And she gets upset because he's not showing more emotion, and it's kind of like, dude, he can't help it. He's been stripped of basically any human emotion because his head is so full of crap. And then we get over to not Sansa, Arya. Arya, who shows up at the keep. Yay! Arya's finally at Winterfell. And a couple of guards give her a hard time at the gate, telling her to fuck off because, you're definitely not Arya Stark. She's dead, blah, blah, blah. Whole 9 yards. Go to some shenanigans there. So they make her sit in a spot where they go to tell Lady Sansa that supposedly her sister is here. And they turn their back on her, which, of course, she never turned your back on anybody, ever, in a TV show. She disappears. So now they have to go tell Lady Stark that there was this girl here who claimed she was Arya, and then she disappeared on us, and Sansa's like, that's cool, I know where she is. Goes down to the crypt underneath, and sure enough, there's Arya, and they hug it out, and they're so happy to see each other. And then they go to see Bran, and Bran gives Arya the dagger because he doesn't want it. He literally says, it's wasted on a cripple. I'm not putting words in his mouth. That is actually what the kid says when giving her the dagger. Because she's like, are you sure you want to give this to me? This is Valerian steel. So I'm foreseeing this dagger being shoved into somebody in the near future. Probably somebody who attempted to assassinate Ren. I am hoping it's Littlefinger. Because, man, that guy, he needs to be pricked a couple of times. He's a big prick himself. And then they see Brienne briefly, who is very happy that all the Stark kids are starting to come together. She's fulfilled her promise, yada, yada, yada. Alright, at that point, we cut to Daenerys and Melant? Her lady friend, who are walking down the steps to the castle, and, you know, girl talking all about how hot is Grey Worm in bed? Oh, he's really hot. You know, just really creepy stuff that I just don't think is really appropriate, but maybe that's just me. You know, her guy could be off dying somewhere, and I don't know. Anyway, so their girl talk is interrupted by Jon Snow, who shows up because he wants to go show Daenerys what he's doing down underneath the castle with the dragon glass. So he takes her down there, and they look, and he shows her all, okay, here's all the dragon glass. But that's not all. By now, and no. So he takes her around the corner, and now there's all these little drawings on the walls of random things that apparently the children of the forest, I can never remember the names, so I'm going to call them little people, but we got Tyrion for that. The children of the forest have drawn all these paintings in here, and he's showing her along the way, and she's like, oh, so they were here, you know, so long ago, before men were here, and he's like, nuh-uh. He shows her some more paintings, which shows the children of the forest and men, like, hanging out together, being cool. And he's like, that's not all. Moves on a little bit more. Ta-da! It's the Army of the Dead, sitting there clear as day on the wall. He's like, yeah, they got together to fight these guys. We need to get together to fight these guys. And she goes, sure, yeah, we'll do that. Bend the knee. And, of course, he's like, oh, I can't. I promised my people won't follow. And she goes, well, they'll follow if you follow, because they will follow their king. And bend the knee. Dude, just let go of the pride. Okay, so then they go back out. And when they go out, they're met by Tyrion and Varys. God, dude, the bald guy, spider web with little birds, who basically tell them, yeah, they got the rock, but they lost Highgarden, and they lost all their fleet because Aerion, is that the uncle's name, managed to attack the fleet while they were busy taking out the rock. Casterly Rock, not the rock from, you know, whatever. I lost my train of thought there. The rock was Sean Connery, or the rock from wrestling. And those were the two rocks I was aiming for. My brain just kind of collided. Anyway, so find out that they lost all that, and Daenerys is not happy, and she's all like, well, you know what, I'm gonna hop on my dragons. I got these dragons, you keep telling me not to use the dragons, and I keep not using the dragons, I keep getting my ass handed to me, so I'm gonna go use the dragons. And that's when she turns to Jon, because of course everyone's like, no, don't use the dragons, don't use the dragons. So she turns to Jon, like, she's like, what do you think, dude? So at least she values his opinion somewhat. That's a good sign. So he turns back and basically tells her, if you take these dragons to King's Landing, which is what you're saying you want to do, and you go melting everybody in King's Landing, you're not going to win the people over. You can't win the people over by using the dragons against them. If you use the dragons properly and they see that you're here with this impossible thing, it's going to make other impossible things happen, then they will love you. But don't go to King's Landing and melt the castle. So I gotta do a little segue. They're getting uncomfortably close with the Jon and Daenerys hookup. And it's like, I know the show has featured incest, and I know Targaryens are known for their incest, but seriously, guys, are we going in that direction? Are we really going there? Okay, so then we cut to Brienne and Podrick, who are practicing, and he's gotten better at sword fighting, but he's still not all that great, and he keeps getting knocked down to the ground. And while that happens, Arya walks up and she's like, hey, can you practice with me? And of course Brienne's like, oh no, I don't really think that's a good idea. And she's like, well, didn't you swear that you would obey both of Lady Stark's daughters? And Brienne's like, okay, bring it. So they fight, and it's a good fight, and they're having a great time. You can tell they're having a great time. However, Sansa's up there watching with a little finger next to her, and I get the feeling that Sansa's jealous of the fact that her sister can just swoop in and have a great time with what Sansa is looking at as her knight. So who knows what's going to happen there. Sansa's always had that jealousy streak thing going with her that has never been a favorite of mine, and I'm hoping they don't, have her be upset with Arya for stupid reasons like that. But who knows? We still got 3 more episodes to go, and we need more drama, don't we? Really. So then we cut back over to Jon and the Onion Knight, who are chatting, and the Onion Knight and Jon encounter Missandei, whatever her name is. I did look it. I swear to God, guys, I looked it up. I looked up all these names, and they aren't sticking. I need to have a side thing with everybody's names on it and do little check marks next to them when they show up in a show. But anyway, so they ask her, why do you, how did you get here? And she explains the whole, well, I was a slave, and then, then I was sold to Daenerys, and she freed me, and now I serve her. And they're like, well, so you're still serving her? And she's like, but I'm serving her because I want to. Everybody who's here, we're all here because we want to be here, because we believe in her. It's sounding very much like how all the people in the North are believing in Jon. You can see the wheels turning in Jon's head. And even the Onion Knight's like, dude, I kind of want to go join up with them because she's making this sound really, really good. So as they're standing up there talking, because she was out there looking for a ship approaches. It looks like a Greyjoy ship, so they'll go down to the water to meet up with them. And guess who gets off the ship? Yeah, Theon Greyjoy. Which Jon is obviously not happy to see him, because if you have forgotten, several seasons back, Theon basically douched them all over, alleged that he had killed the brothers, Jon's brothers, and took over Winterfell and gave it to Cersei's people, and just was an all-around douche of douche. And then he got captured by the other guy, and yeah, shenanigans happened. But anyway, Jon has a long-standing grudge against this dude for good reason. Theon tries to play it off like, hey, Jon, long time no see. And Jon goes, and you can tell he really, really, really wants to throttle Theon. But he tells Theon, what you did for my sister is the only reason I am not killing you now. So, yeah, that'll be interesting later. And then for the rest of the episode, I don't really need that for the rest of the episode, because we go back over to where the Lannister army is still marching back, and they've taken yet another pit stop because someone's wagon wheel fell off or something. And Sir Tarley's talking about how he wants to discipline people, and Jaime's like, nah, let me talk to you guys first. And then he's goes around, he's talking to people, and he talks to Tarley's son, and they talk a bit about how this was Tarley's son's first battle, the older son, obviously not Sam, the prized son. And they're talking about that sort of thing. And as they're talking, they're hearing noises, and they listen, and they realize it sounds like the enemy approaching. Because the Dothraki are riding up the hill, and everyone gets into formation, and they're all getting ready to fight off the wild forces of Dothraki, horsemen, and, they're all standing their ground, and they're ready with the archers, and they're all ready with everything else. That's when Daenerys flies in with the dragon, shwoom! Just completely obliterates one whole section to let the Dothraki go through, and, their little barricade of shields and spears and stuff, and all the Dothraki get in there, and it's chaos, and fire, and flames, and people are dying, and everyone's running around chaotically, and, Dothraki are dying too, but Lannister men are dying more, and the dragon keeps swooping down, and Daenerys is on the back of the dragon. Don't think the dragon's over here doing it on his own accord. Daenerys is up there, directing the dragon where to blow flame, and just blow people away here, and blow people away there, and just keeps dive bombing, and keeps dive bombing. And Jaime sends Bronn over he goes, go get the thing. And Braun's like, oh, you get the thing. And Jamie points out, I'm missing a hand. I can't shoot it with one hand. So Braun goes to get the thing, and it's the giant crossbow. He reveals the giant crossbow, and he starts, gearing it up, and he takes a shot at the dragon, and it swoops past the dragon, and Daenerys is like, oh shit, a little bit. But she's not really overly concerned. So she's circling back around, and Braun's getting the thing geared up again with another giant crossbow bolt, and he's aiming up at the dragon, and bam! He hits the dragon in the shoulder. Oh no! And of course, in my family, we're all sitting here like, no, Daenerys is about to get captured, oh crap! But she circles the dragon around, and he can still fly, and whoosh, he just completely roasts the giant fireball is flammable crossbow because they built it all out of wood. And if Jamie makes it back, I'm sure the first thing he's going to tell them is you need to build that thing out of something a little less flammable. Anyhow, Bronn manages to get away, and people are running around, and then the dragon lands, and Daenerys is trying to get the bolt out of the dragon's shoulder, and Jamie sees her doing that, and he's going, I could end it all right here. I could end it all right now. So he grabs a spear and he starts to run down on Daenerys, and just as he's getting ready to run her down, the dragon's head comes up and goes blows all this flame, and someone slams into Jamie, knocks him off his horse, and they both go into the water, and the last thing you see is Jamie sinking down into the depths of the water. Because apparently there was water nearby, and fade to black. Credits start rolling. Sorry about that little interruption there. Forgot about the alarm again. I really need to remember that sucker. Anyway, so that's where we're left. We are left with a almost literal cliffhanger. We know that battle's pretty much done. Jamie's sinking. Got a good idea that he's gonna get out of it somehow because, that's not how they're going to kill Jamie off. And I've heard some rumors, accidentally heard a rumor, while I was looking up the, excuse me. I got really excited with all that fire breathing. I heard some rumors that I'm not going to divulge to you guys, because while this is a spoiler cast, it is only current spoilers, not upcoming spoilers. Heard a rumor. Basically, I don't think this is Jamie's time to die yet. And that's about it. The upcoming stuff really didn't reveal a whole lot that's going to be going on. Whatever. So, Jamie's in the water. Daenerys has roasted most of the Lannister army. Arya is making Sansa jealous because she's cozying up to the, Lady Night. And I think that's about all that happened in the episode. Yep. No further word was given to the fact that, I was about to say that no further, allusion was given to the whole mic drop moment at the end of last week's episode where Lady Hightower told him that, she was the one who poisoned Joffrey. That's not entirely true. While Jamie was paying off Bronn at the very beginning of the episode, it was kind of one of my favorite moments. I don't know why I forgot about it. While he was paying off Bronn at the very beginning of the episode, Bronn's like, you look so gloomy, what did the, Lady Rose give one last prick, give you one last prick in the balls before she died? And Jamie just didn't kind of respond. So, it's bothering Jamie. You really know it's bothering Jamie, which it should. Anywho, that wraps up the episode, and, like, subscribe, let me know what you think I should watch. I'm going to start doing a new type of series, which I'll call SpoilerCast Blind, where I will take an episode of some random TV show that I've never seen before, either a current episode, or if it's a completed show, someone can just, give me a particular episode number and I'll go look up that one. I will watch it. I'll try to figure out what the hell is going on based off of just that episode with no other research and no other experience with the show. So keep an eye out for that. That's it. I'm going to go now so I can get some sleep. And until next time, ST out. Bye!